5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In this episode, I'm reviewing Sovol's SH02 Filament Dryer. It's a nice filament dryer. I've been using it in my shop for some time, so I thought I'd go ahead and make a review. This is an extended usage review, meaning that I've owned it for quite a while and I've spent hundreds of hours drying filament in it. One thing you may be wanting to ask is, what features do you like? Well, one thing I like is that this dryer can get up to 70 Celsius, and I can show you here in a minute on the screen's display. There's also a drying plug right here, so that while you're heating up the filament, this plug can be pulled out and then the vapor can escape from the top. So that helps get a little bit of the moisture out. There's also a nice air seal. If you take a closer look at this, I can only get so close right now, but there's a seal that goes all the way around the lips of this. And when you close it, it gets secure. The lid secures itself to the rest of the base, and it keeps the air sealed pretty well. There's also these right here. These are another set of little plugs. What they're useful for is if you have a dryer drying your filament while you're printing. So you can put your roll in here, and while the roll is in there, you can have the filament stringing out through here. Now, I'll show you the screen really quick while I've got the camera up closer. So right here is a small touchable power button on this touch screen. So if I hold that, it goes ahead and starts up, and then I can use a selector to select what options I want to modify. For example, might want to modify the material. So there's PLA, PETG, ABS, and many others. So you'll probably find most of the popular materials already on here. It can also, if I jump to this other option right here, I can set a really large amount of time for the dryer to run. I think I can make it run like well over 3 days. So that's a really nice option. There's also something that shows the current humidity and the current temperature within the filament dryer, so that's kind of nice. This thing makes a little bit of noise, so I'm just going to go ahead and close it and then just shut it down. I'll just hold this power button, that way it's shut down. Other thing I wanted to do is show this dryer from every possible angle, because I saw in other reviews, all they would do is show maybe the front, open it up, and let you look in a little bit, but they wouldn't show any of the other sides. And I never could find a straight answer as to whether there were more plugs than just these three. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this around so you can see it from all the different angles, because I think that's kind of important because of the way this is made. So let's go ahead, this up and turn it slowly. This won't take very long. top cover. Here's another good angle to see everything. Right there. Back of the top cover. That was something I was curious about. Okay, get this ready to tilt up. I don't know of any way to get this lid, take this lid off the top very easily, so I'm just going to tilt it over. And hopefully that's a good way to look in. Right here are some special rollers so that your filament just roll on these. So I'll show this too. That's why I have an empty roll, so I can just show where it sits on here, and it just rolls back and forth. It has some features on the roller to where the roll won't slide and collide with the other one, which is kind of handy. Same thing on the other side. It also has a few of these things right here that you can open up. I don't have anything really handy for opening it up, but I'll open it up here in a second. Okay, I've opened this up, and what I've done is I left one of the silica gels in there that I normally keep down in here. All I did was I just took something to pry this small cover up and out of here on both of them, and you can see right here the size of the pocket. It's just about the right size to hold one of these smaller silica gel packets, and you stick it in there, and then you can put the covers back on there. So what I'll do is I'll snap these back on because there's something else I wanted to show here in a second. So let me get these snapped back in. They snap in fairly easy. Whoops. Oops. Once I get this aligned, I'm kind of at a tricky angle here. Yeah, it's the other way. Okay. So now here's these covers have a nice series of holes on them so that the air can kind of permeate these areas here and help dry the air a little more. So now, one thing you may have wondered is why do I have Vienna sausages on the subtitle for this video? So there's a very important reason. So what I discovered is something to do with Sunlu filament and their rolls. So right here is a roll of Sunlu, and their filament, if you notice on their rolls, it's fairly large, big around. So one idea I had was that I took one of these Vienna sausage cans right here, and once I had opened it up and got all the contents out, and it's just the right size for fitting in this Sunlu roll. It's the only brand I have that'll fit this way. And what you can do, what's nice is you can take a rubber band, put it around your can, get some kind of thin fabric and put it over the top, and fill it with silica gel. And when you do that, the air can reach in there, and it can get, the desiccant can work from inside of there. And speaking of desiccant, another handy thing is to just buy a big thing of desiccant. And a lot of times they give you a package of these bags that go with it. So what I did is I just filled up one of these bags right here with a lot of desiccant. And I always keep it, I discovered that I can always keep it right in the bottom of this dryer. It leaves just enough space to put the roll in. So I'll do that here in a second. I need to get this roll ready because it's just got the right amount here. So I'm going to put this roll in here. And you can see the roll can spin around while that filament is in there, which is kind of nice. So it makes some extra work, does some extra work with drying. I like that a lot better than those smaller desiccant packs. Let me go ahead, now that I got a complete roll here, let's take this, open it up. And then you can see that the filament can come right out of this hole right here. There's two of those. Another thing you may be asking is, what filaments have you tested with this dryer? Well, let me think. I think I've used more than a few. I have used PLA, ABS, PETG. What else? Oh, TPU. Um, Oh, glass and carbon fiber filaments. And also PPACF right here. I think it's right there. It just popped up. Okay, so now that I've finished up a whole list of filaments, I think what I'll do is I'll mention a few things that some people may not be aware of with some of the filaments. Sometimes with PLA and PETG, people aren't aware that if that filament is either has a translucent feature, or if it's silk, or if it's glow in the dark, it may soak up the humidity a little faster than normal. So you want to be careful to go ahead and put those in the dryer when they start acting up. I had a PETG box, a roll several years ago that was popping so bad I was afraid it was going to break the extruder on my bed slinger because it just popped so loud. It was like really loud bangs. So I had to stop using it until I got a dryer to work on it. And it took a little time, but that one PETG was a blue translucent, and just took a little extra time to get it dry. Well, another thing you may be wanting to ask are, what are the pros and cons of this dryer? And I can't really think of too many, but here's what I would say. This is actually great for drying most of the filaments. That's a big pro. But it may be challenging for a few materials, but it would be some that were way out there, very exotic, that still require a very high temp printer anyway, like PEEK or PPS-CF. I probably wouldn't use it with those. But all of those filaments that I've mentioned before, they all work really well. The main con that I found with this is that there's only one place to let the filament out with the rolls, which is um, makes it not quite as convenient for someone like me. If I have something like this, I've got a custom enclosure that I made right next to this for a bed slinger. Um, and it's a fairly large enclosure, and it loads filament from the top and the front. And if I want to load something into this from the top and keep it heated, I can't do that with this because it only unloads from the top. There's no bottom holes, so it makes it more difficult. That's the only con I have with it, kind of minor. Most of the filaments I've used, I've discovered that if I even have a 12 or 16-hour print with something that might absorb some moisture, it usually is fine. So I'm not too worried about it. Another thing you might ask is, would you buy this again? And I'd say definitely, because I checked and it's still on sale, and it's a reasonable price. There's a lot of other competing ones that are easily twice as much, or have some downsides that I'm not very fond of. So this is probably one that I would buy again. So anyway, that's probably the end of my review. I can't think of anything else to mention. So thanks, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it, and give me some likes. I'm just starting out, so I want to try and get as many subscribers as I can initially. Thanks.